Your ancestor sits down next to you on the train, pulls his hoodie up, and says, "Hold my scroll." You don't look twice. His face is completely normal. It's the back of his head that would ruin your day, though. He died 300,000 years ago in Morocco at a place called Jebel Irhoud. There were at least 5 of them, and their faces are basically yours. Small cheekbones, a soft brow, a flat profile tucked neatly under the skull. Then you walk around the back of that skull, and the whole thing goes long and low, like it belongs to somebody else entirely. Here's what nobody warns you about. We did not evolve in one clean go. The face finished early. The rest of the head took another couple 100,000 years to catch up, which is basically your phone updating the wallpaper first and leaving everything else downloading for a decade. Evolution did the part other people stare at first, because obviously. Scientists call this mosaic evolution. Different parts of you arrive on different flights, and some of the luggage showed up embarrassingly late. So those 5 people were walking around with a modern face bolted onto a long, flat skull. No tall dome, no round back, none of the balloon-shaped head you're currently carrying around. That shape is the latest update. And when this got announced in 2017, it did something worse than surprise people. It shoved the origin of our species back by roughly 100,000 years, and it dragged the whole story out of one tidy corner of Africa and spread across the entire continent. There was no single cradle. There was a continent full of people slowly becoming us, at different speeds in different ways, which raises a question I genuinely do not love. If the box changed shape, did the thing inside the box change too? Hold that, I'm coming back to it, and it's the strangest 30 seconds in this video. But that's the calm part, because the second you look below the neck, this stops being polite. Picture the body. Go on, just go on, do it properly. Alright, so now you're picturing probably a giant, aren't you? Huge shoulders, 7 feet of hair and muscle, a man who could bench press a small horse without putting his drink down. Nope, that's not it. Before farming arrived, the average European man stood about 5'6", and the average woman about 5'2". Then farming showed up and everybody got measurably shorter, roughly 1.5 inches across the board. Grain fills you up, but grain is not a diet, and your skeleton keeps the receipts. But short does not mean weak, and this next bit genuinely annoys me. Scientists scanned the arm bones of elite rowers, then scanned women who died 7,000 years ago. A team at Cambridge scanned the arm bones of elite women rowers, real ones, training twice a day, rowing about 75 miles a week. Then they scanned the arm bones of women who lived 700,000 years ago. The ancient arms won. 11 to 16% stronger for their size than the rowers, and almost 30% stronger than a normal university student. And the likely reason isn't hunting or fishing, it's grinding grain. In places that still grind by hand, women do it for up to 5 hours a day, pushing a stone back and forth every single day of their lives. It's a rowing machine that makes bread. So the short, quiet guy on your train could shake your hand into paste without changing his expression. Lovely. And I still owe you the back of his head, which is the part that actually keeps me up. Alright, before we continue into this video any further, I just want to share this program that I started recently, and it really helped me relax and focus while I was working, and so I thought it might be something that you are interested in as well, and if you are, I'll leave the link in the description as well as the pinned comment, and you can check it out. Let's get back to the video. Right, so, the skull. Remember, it was long and flat? The round one only turned up much later, and researchers think that shape isn't just a look. They think it tracks how the brain is arranged inside it. Same size box, rearranged furniture. So those first faces were already ours. The wiring sitting behind them, maybe not quite yet. You would have looked him in the eye and seen a person. Whether he was thinking the way you think is a question nobody has closed. If that sentence made you sit up slightly, you're my kind of person. Subscribe, it's free and it makes their algorithm nervous. Now, for the part that reliably starts fights in in my comments color. In 1903, a skeleton came out of a cave at Cheddar Gorge in England, 10,000 years old and still the oldest complete skeleton ever found in Britain. For decades, every single drawing of him came out pale skin, light hair, and the full Sunday roast. Then somebody drilled DNA out of a tiny bone in his inner ear. Britain's oldest complete skeleton is 10,000 years old, and his DNA embarrassed a century of paintings. Dark to black skin, dark curly hair, and blue eyes. The blue eyes arrived first. Pale skin came along much later than almost anyone had assumed. And this man is not some dead branch on the family tree. Roughly 1 in 10 people with white British ancestry are descended from his group. So that settles what early humans looked like, except it absolutely doesn't, because they were never one thing. If your family line runs outside Africa, 1 to 2% of your DNA is Neanderthal. Some people in the Pacific are carrying a second ghost as well, with Denisovan ancestry reaching 4 to 6% in parts of Melanesia. Translation: early humans were never a single face. It was a group chat with several species in it, and things happened. Which brings me to the 2 strangest things on your face. You're wearing both of them right now. The first is your eyebrows. Our relatives carried a heavy shelf of bones above the eyes, and as that shelf shrank, the skin above our eyes got free to move. Researchers think that matters enormously because a raised eyebrow is a full sentence you can send across a campfire without making a sound. The second one is worse. You have a body part that nothing else on Earth has ever had. Your chin. No other animal has one. Not chimps, not Neanderthals, not Denisovans, just us. And here's the kicker, because researchers increasingly think nobody selected for it at all. Our teeth shrank, our faces pulled backwards under the skull, and the bottom of the jaw simply got left behind, sticking out into the air. Your chin might be leftover material, a rounding error with a name. All of which brings us to 1908 and the worst PR disaster in the history of our relatives. A nearly complete Neanderthal skeleton came out of a cave in France, and a scientist named Bowell put it back together in 1911. He gave it a hunch, bent knees, and a head shoved forwards, which is to say he built a gorilla with anxiety and terrible posture. That one reconstruction became the word caveman for the next 100 years. Every cartoon, every costume, every club-dragging idiot in a museum diorama traces back to it. Then in 1957, 2 anatomists looked again and wrote a line, I think, about weekly. Clean him up, put him in a suit, and he could ride the New York subway without attracting any attention at all. Fair warning, this is still argued over. Later work says arthritis alone doesn't explain Bowles' version, and that broken missing bones and a confident imagination did plenty of damage. Either way, the hunch is dead. Oh, and one more thing before you go. They weren't naked, by the way. Body lice split away from head lice roughly 170,000 years ago, with one analysis pushing that closer to 190. Lice that live in clothing need clothing to live in, because obviously. So clothes are older than cave paintings, older than farming, older than nearly everything you file under civilized. So here's your answer. Short, mostly dark-skinned, occasionally blue-eyed, fully dressed, strong enough to embarrass your gym, a modern face sitting on a longer skull with expressive eyebrows and a chin that nobody actually ordered. Which means the man on the train was real. He sat down, you didn't look up, and the only thing that would have made you stare is the haircut. Alright, so you held my scroll for this entire time just to find out that you would actually walk straight past your ancestor and never even turn around. Worth it? Drop a like if the chin thing broke you slightly. Tell me in the comments which one of these you flat out refuse to believe, and subscribe because next time we're doing the first ever funeral in human history. Who got buried, what went into the grave with them, and why it took us so unbelievably long to start bothering. That one's stranger than this one. Until then, hold my scroll and give it a gentle stroke as well. Before I go though, just a reminder, that program that I spoke of, it really did help me focus while working and especially relax after I'm done working. It's an audio program that you can listen to while working or working out or just staring at the wall. So it's pretty convenient. Link in the description, also in the pinned comment below. That's how you can support me without any extra cost to you. Thank you so much for watching this video.